welcome. Shakespeare in Love, Dances with Wolves, Sidless List, and Out of Africa. You know what those 4 films, among another 7, have in common? They all won 7 Academy Awards. And why? It's not just because 7 is considered by many to be a lucky number, it's because those filmmakers really had to step up their game, and they all lucked out for it. And that's what I'm about to do, as the Thrift Store Rundown proudly presents its 7th annual Odyssey to the Oscars. That's right, the marquee show of the year here at TSR is back. As you know, this is the series where we think golden without spending a lot of green, celebrating the Academy Awards on a budget. And I gotta say, by all accounts, this promises to be the most sophisticated and scrumptious yet. Take a look at all the stuff I have here. The scope is so wide that it would be way too cumbersome for me to lay this all down flat on my tabletop. It just wouldn't fit. Which gets you all the more excited for the amount of content we have coming up in this month-long series. That's right, it's a whole month. 38 items, over 30 videos to do, and it would be way too long for me to get into the specifics on all these items, so I'm just going to give you some brief summaries on each of them as we go forward in this preview show. Now, as you know, for the past few years, I've been doing this preview show on the day that the Oscar nominations were announced. I assume live on GMA, as they've done for many years. Yet I do the filming of these preview videos ahead of time, so I have no way of knowing who's been nominated and who's been snubbed. But as always, there'll be a full list of the nominations in the description below for the 95th Annual Academy Awards, which will be hosted once again by Jimmy Kimmel, airing on ABC March 12th from the Dolby Theater. We're just coming off the slap that shocked the world. Hence why you don't see any Will Smith or Chris Rock in here. I don't want to take any chances. But let me run down and tell you what we're placing a major emphasis on this year. Cookbooks. If you really want to celebrate the Oscars on a budget and in style, it starts in a kitchen, and it goes way beyond fancy hors d'oeuvres. We have Spain, a culinary road trip by Mario Batali with Oscar winner Gwyneth Paltrow, Sophia Loren's Recipes and Memories, Mission Cook by Robert Irvine of, Dinner Impossible on Food Network, Pretty Fun by Oscar nominee Kate Hudson, Morgan Freeman and Friends, Cooking for a Cause, that's Caribbean Cooking for a Cause really, and, as a curveball for you, a copy of All Recipes magazine with Wolfgang Puck's award season party menu, February-March 2019. As far as games go, well, we have less games this year, but I think we have some really cool games. Trivial Pursuit Warner Brothers, in celebration of Warner Brothers' 100 years of storytelling. It's a year-long celebration commemorating their centennial. We also have a 500-piece Titanic puzzle to commemorate its quarter centennial, its 25th anniversary on the big screen. And we have a 1,000-piece Alfred Hitchcock mystery jigsaw puzzle to read, assemble, and solve. That'll be fun. Over here we have Back to the Future, the official book of the complete movie trilogy. Oh, is this fancy or what? The American Film Institute's desk reference in collaboration with DK Books. With an introduction by Clint Eastwood? Come on, awesome! Roger Ebert's list of his great movies. It's an annual list, I just happened to pick up one of his copies. The Boys, that is the joint memoir of brothers Ron and Clint Howard. Growing up in show business. Isn't that a real cool oddity? MTV's Beavis and Butthead go, for Hollywood, We also have here Shakespeare in Love, the Oscar-winning screenplay by Mark Norman and Tom Stoppard. We gotta have some style in here as well, so we're including People Style Watch, your ultimate guide to style. Plus Variety's portable movie guide. I don't think it's Odyssey to the Oscars without a screenplay or a style guide. Hey, we've been doing both of these components for the last few years, so why not do it again this year? Now this is real odd. This is a TV show. Why am I including it in a series all about Oscar-winning films? Well, because there have been several Academy Award winners, one of them being Jennifer Aniston's ex-husband, who guest starred on Friends. So I think putting Friends Forever, the one about the episodes, that is a fan and creative favorite episode guide, and the 8 seasons of Friends on DVD, which won their only Emmy for Outstanding Comedy Series, would be a natural fit, and I'm pairing them up together. As you know, the Emmys are the Oscars of television. In terms of DVDs, Rear Window, that is Alfred Hitchcock's classic on Collector's Edition DVD, which I'm definitely pairing up with the 1,000-piece mystery puzzle. And just for fun, we're gonna have our own version of Johnny Depp vs. Amber Heard on the big screen, as I review Secret Window and Drive Angry. She co-starred along Nicolas Cage, Amber Heard. And, oh boy, we all knew this was coming. It would be only a matter of time. But I didn't know it would be many, many years doing this before I actually got a fully consideration screener. Prisoners. Now, the only nomination it got was Best Cinematography, but this is a fully consideration screener. It was prohibited from being sold. This was only meant for award committees. And I finally snagged a copy. And this looked the most intriguing, so I am so stoked to review that. You have no idea. But what about these things here underneath the Friends Season 8 DVD set? Well, those are magazines, and have we got some good ones for you. We have a Vanity Fair from January 2001, and on the cover is Catherine Zeta-Jones, Mrs. Michael Douglas. I have a special copy of Reminisce magazine. I know you can't tell by looking at the spine, but you know that magazine all about the good old days, those nostalgic days? Well, this issue right here, the one in between Vanity Fair and this Black Spine magazine, which is Entertainment Weekly and a Great American Pop Culture or Movie Quiz. Reminisce is all about the movies. It even has a special feature on Universal Studios' 100th anniversary. So that and the Entertainment Weekly Great American Pop Culture Quiz, Movie Quiz, will be great fun. And as for more magazines, take a look. Not one but two copies of the Hollywood Reporter from November. As you know, Odyssey to the Oscars isn't complete without the granddaddy of all filmmaking, Steven Spielberg. And this might be his most personal Oscars yet. For his most personal film yet, The Fabelmans, given great coverage in both of these issues. So I'm definitely pairing them up with each other. And you also see Sylvester Stallone on the cover here as well. And this is quite a throwback. Life Celebrating the Movies. It's a special issue. It's from the 80s. It's definitely a top tier item for me. As is Friends Forever, at least in terms of prices. And you'll learn more about all the prices when we lay everything out for you next month. And we take more in-depth, closer looks at all this awesomeness. Oh, let's not forget, we gotta have some awesome soundtracks. And just as Odyssey to the Oscars isn't complete without Steven Spielberg, it most certainly isn't complete without John Williams, who, fun fact, isn't really retiring after all. Hip hip hooray! So we'll be celebrating with Star Wars, The Last Jedi, and the Oscar-winning New Hope soundtrack. Plus, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Plus, we had Thomas Newman's Oscar-nominated score, The Bridge of Spies, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves by Michael Kamen, including the Oscar-nominated ditty, Everything I Do It For You by Bryan Adams, which I remember most fondly from Family Guy. We also have Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and John Barry's Oscar-winning score for Out of Africa. Now this here is a tentative item. Taylor Swift's 1989 karaoke. Again, I filmed these preview shows ahead of time, so I have no way of knowing whether she'll be nominated for Carolina, that's her original song from Where the Crawdads Sing, or not. I mean, she was nominated for a Golden Globe, but she was defeated in a surprising plot twist by that original song, Not To, from the Indian Netflix film RRR, Triple R, which is like the darling of the awards industry right now. If she's nominated, she's in. If not, she's out. So this is tentative. And I'm sorry, Swifties, but I'm secretly hoping she's not so that I can have an even amount of videos. But if she does get nominated, I know Swifties will rejoice. And good on for them and good on for her. But I'll try and find a way to level things out so that we have a grand total of 30 videos. Because you're going to be seeing a lot of solo and duo reviews for this entire lot of items. So we have here a grand total of 38 items in all. If Taylor Swift gets snubbed, it'll be 37. If she gets nominated, 38. We'll see how everything goes. Again, the full listing of nominations will be in the description below. And of course, we'll also have the Oscars playlist so that you can follow along with real time on the playlist or go back to several Odyssey to the Oscars of the past and catch up on the videos you may have missed. There is a lot to cover here. 100% must be given and nothing must be held back. I mean, you got a whole lot of sophisticated throwbacks and deliciousness right here on this end. So much to do. But you know what? I'm game for it, as I have been for the past 6 years. Because all things considered, this is a menagerie of items so awesome, it makes you want to slap your mama. Or anyone who mentions the mother of your children in a not so appealing way. It all goes down February 11th, beginning at noon, everyone, every Saturday for the next month until March 11th. And of course, I'll have my wrap-up show the day after the Oscars. So, in the coming weeks, you'll be seeing a preview show again, where we will be taking a look at the entire schedule. Plus, we'll add in a couple of extra nondescript items as sort of an aperitif, if you will, before the main event, and that'll be February 6th. So check back February 6th for that preview show, where we'll look at the schedule and look at those two items, clapperboard, and some movie-style invitations. Did I forget something? Yeah, of course. Boards! That's a part of the cookbooks. In terms of the cookbooks, I'm going to actually start and end with a cookbook for about 3 weeks worth of this month-long series. I can never ever forget my beloved America's Test Kitchen, as with another TSR champion, Friends, they'll be making their debut on TSR. Because Boards has a movie night menu. Oh, that's a board of education you can't wait to savor. Thank you for joining me, and if you're new around here, I always add Odyssey to the Oscars with a quote that's fashioned from an acclaimed masterpiece of cinema. And this year I'm inspired by the great Casablanca. So here it goes. Please be sure to subscribe so that we can mark the beginning of a beautiful friendship, and I'll check back with you February 6th and February 11th as we look on the golden side of life, as we celebrate the Oscars on the Thrift side.